dates back nearly a century, takes a new turn tonight inside the sold-out Reynolds Coliseum in Raleigh, North Carolina. The spotlight of Friday night duels shines brightly in the wrestling capital of the Southeast. It's the 128th edition, North Carolina, NC State. And a pleasant good evening. Sean Kinney alongside Rock Harrison. Great to have you with us. It's a new era for UNC wrestling. This offseason, Coleman Scott took the opportunity to return to his alma mater to coach at Oklahoma State. So what does UNC do? They bring back one of their own. Rob Cole won a national title 36 years ago as a competitor. Now he's the head coach, and he has certainly reacquainted with the fan base at NC State this past week.
That's an understatement. UNC and NC State have been going at it, but NC State has won the last 10 dual meets. And Rob Cole made a splash, and he said, quote, "There's a normal order of things, and Chapel Hill is above NC State." It really riled up the fan base at NC State, but I tell you what else it did. It's put the seeds in for a future great rivalry.
Talking about rivalries, how about we dial in at 141? For the second straight year, this is the most powerful weight class in the conference. Ryan Jack, Lachlan McNeil, here we go again.
In the semifinals last year, Lachlan McNeil gets the first takedown with a re-attack there, worked his way up, but it wasn't being outdone. But Ryan Jack gets the last takedown and seals his semifinal win to push himself to the finals. However, in the NCAAs, it was Lachlan McNeil who won and got an All-American, while Ryan Jack is 3-1 against Lachlan McNeil.
Our key bout, 141, Jack and McNeil, both wrestlers 3 losses, both wrestlers in the top 5, and they both have won against ranked opponents this year. It is going to be fun a little bit later on tonight. We start the action actually at 157. These two coaches coming together, and this is our first bout of the night. Ed Scott, NC State, the sophomore. 15-3 on the year, ranked number 6. Sonny Santiago, the redshirt sophomore for UNC.
And you see the gamesmanship already. They start at 157 with one of the stronger wrestlers for NC State, one of the favorites, All-American Ed Scott, and they really want to get this crowd into the match early.
Santiago 9-7 this year. Huge shoes to fill when you're talking about who he's replacing this year in the lineup, the 2-time national champion Austin O'Connor. The remarkable career that he had. And now it is Santiago trying to fend off some offense from Scott.
You see, Scott has kept his hands on Santiago the whole time, just going forward, and this is what he's good at. Looking for an underhook. Little back arm single. Good reversal. Can we get something here? Santiago, he's got the takedown. Santiago's trying to get over, stepping over to get some back points. Nothing yet. No back points there.
Will get the 3, so Sonny Santiago firing the opening salvo. That has North Carolina all fired up in their corner.
Oh, I love the rivalry stuff.
Hangs on to the leg. We'll go back to the center as we cross over the halfway point. And what a start here for Rob Cole, watching his redshirt sophomore get the offense.
There it is. He stepped and scooped the leg, gets the takedown, but it didn't look like Ed Scott had broke that 45-degree angle for longer than 2 seconds for Santiago to get the back points. Good start for Santiago.
Scott is away, and he picks up his first point. Santiago, a guy who did not wrestle a lot last year. He went 9-1. He has fought injuries throughout his entire career at Chapel Hill, but this is the healthiest he's been. Back into that underhook set, both wrestlers down on the knee. Scott drops in on that leg, trying to clear out that underhook. You see him dragging, elevating, tripping, and keeping that toe in for 3.
Went to the underhook, dropped down to the single, secured both legs. Now it's 4-3 Ed Scott. He went right down to that underhook, dropped down, brought it back to the center, tripped, and gets the 3-point takedown.
44 seconds, exciting opening period. Santiago on the mat return brings Reynolds to their feet. Santiago taking all of that weight on his shoulder. Pat Papalizio, what a job he has done here in Raleigh. He just showed up a couple of hours earlier tonight to see the enthusiasm and the fan base all passionate, ready to cheer on the Wolfpack tonight.
This is good for the state of North Carolina, good for the ACC.
Santiago away, and we are tied at 4.
We're tied up. Let's see if Scott goes back to his underhook. He goes to an underhook, and either he'll try and lock behind the neck, or he'll go and drop down to the single. What a good start to the dual meet. 4-4.
Short.
Both teams have had some exciting moments.
1 time.
Tied at 4. Santiago's choice. He will defer. Scott says, let's go underneath. Ed Scott, the 2-time NCAA qualifier. Back-to-back berths. Sonny Santiago really getting his first crack at this UNC lineup. And Pat Papalizio, year number 12 here in Raleigh. Sit out and a quick escape for Scott.
Let's see if Santiago kind of puts something in motion. He scored off of the attacks of Scott, and Scott has put his hands on Santiago the whole time and forcing his underhook. That's a good shot. But even with that defense, Ed Scott goes right back to that underhook. When I say underhook, he's cuffing the armpits and holding like the back of the shoulder. He's the aggressor here.
We'd like to welcome in our gymnastics crowd who have been enjoying NC State Clemson. Sean Kinney alongside Rock Harrison. It is a sold-out Reynolds Coliseum, the 128th edition of UNC NC State. The Rob Cole era underway for the Tar Heels in a hostile environment tonight. Friday night duels. Entertaining first period. Ed Scott gave up the first 3. Santiago able to get in late in that first period. Scott with the 5-4 lead. But you see the quickness of Santiago again, close to getting to that corner.
He's seeing the underhook, and then he's going away from the underhook. Santiago's doing a good job of holding center, staying right in the middle, not running away, presenting himself. And he's had a good shot to the right leg of Ed Scott.
Short time, second period. We opened at 1:57. This is our first weight of the night.
This is holding very well for Santiago. You would not have thought that Santiago would stay this close with a returning All-American. And he is showing himself. And he's going to the third period, down 1.
Santiago had such a strong international offseason this past fall. Both he and Cade Lott represented the U.S. and Puerto Rico in Finland at the U23 World Championships. Sonny Santiago wrestling at 74 kilos for Puerto Rico. And we're seeing his improvement here tonight in a packed house at Reynolds, giving the 2-time NCAA qualifier and the All-American Ed Scott a work.
Ed Scott is deceptively good on top. Santiago has got to move quickly with that first whistle.
Tried to hit the explosive stand-up. You see the strength by Scott. Right back up to his feet, Santiago. That hand fight, and he is away. And we are tied at 5.
A little grimace there from Ed Scott. 5-5, first match. All-American against someone that they did not think would compete this hard, but Santiago is competing hard.
What a huge boost this could be for North Carolina if Santiago can find a way to pull off the upset here in this third and final period.
He's circling away from that underhook. There's a reach shot. Ed Scott is doing a good job of attacking. He's got the single. Good motion by Santiago.
Good hold. Good hold.
very similar to what we saw in the first period where Santiago was able to get the three. Here's Scott, repositions, no control established yet.
He's going to try and cut the court and get behind. Santiago's holding on to that leg. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. No takedown. I tell you, no takedown there. No reaction time. These guys are exhausted. The first match. No takedown there. 5-5. This is going to be very important. Last 30 seconds.
You can see both wrestlers just slowly building up their oxygen tanks again. Santiago coming in. Scott with those hips flexes it off. Short time. Inside 20 seconds.
Oh. This is great. This is so important for both teams here. Short time. Look how tired they are. This is when you rely on your training. When you're tired, you go back to your training. How well did you train?
Exhaustion by both. We head to sudden victory. 2 minutes. First one to score wins. Both wrestlers getting an opportunity to collect their breath, and here we go.
UNC, their team is standing. They feel this. While you look at the other side of NC State, they're sitting down there calm. Maybe they just know that Ed Scott is just going to pull it out. But right now, UNC, if you could see their lineup, their team, they're standing up, they're ready for this. At this point, they're tired. You have to really stay mentally tough to make sure you have good technique here. You can't be sloppy.
Scott trying to get to his underhook, followed with that low strike, came up empty as Santiago dodged it. Ed Scott right back to his left arm underhook. His driver, his maneuver, if you will. See what he wants to steer Santiago with. Near the edge, repositioning by Scott. Again, that low shot. This time he's in on the leg, has both. Let's see if he can finish near the edge. Santiago slips in that whizzer.
He's got to watch that left leg to come on the other side.
1 minute.
So look at this. Now Ed Scott's going to bring him in. He's got to face him. He cannot turn his back. Santiago's got to stay up here. And he's going to pop over. Did he get it? Did he get it? He got the takedown. He got the takedown. Now it's a problem. Could he get the fall here? This is big. Upset number 1.
Welcome to the ACC, Rob Cole.
Upset number 1. Upset number 1. Sonny Santiago upsets the returning All-American. What a start for UNC. Let's look at this. You see Ed Scott try to pull a leg in. Sonny Santiago did not face him. And then he hipped over, cross face, no control. But once you start fighting off your back, that's when you give up the takedown. And look at UNC. They needed that. Oh, what a good start to rivalry here in the ACC.
The biggest win of Sonny Santiago's career. Cole might drink that whole bottle of Gatorade after that first match, but what a start.
If I see them interlocking on the other
Victory for Santiago. UNC pulls off the upset at 157, and now NC State looks to bounce back. 165. Isaiah Estrada, 6-13 this year, suffered a tight loss to Connor of Virginia Tech last Friday night. While it's Derek Fields, who's perfect this year in duels, this was a weight coming in for Pat Papalizio. Would it be A.J. Kovacs? Would it be Derek Fields? Well, when the lights have been the brightest, it's been Fields who has performed really well.
And the gamesmanship here, they're not showing anybody yet. We see Derek Fields. We don't know what's coming out. Oh, I love it. Yes, it is Fields. You see little mind games going on here, Sean. You know, not starting at 125. They put out 157, thinking that we're going to start off our All-American. Sonny Santiago, world team member for Puerto Rico, comes in, upsets. Here we go.
You can just feel the shock right now inside Reynolds. A little bit of tension after what they just witnessed at 57. Derek Fields, a redshirt sophomore, Brunswick, Ohio. Isaiah Estrada, another youngster for Coach Cole. Straight on double by Fields, trying to get to it, but like we've seen from these first two Tar Heel wrestlers, they've been ready. Estrada 6-13. This is the first time in a duel that he has wrestled NC State, so a big moment for the youngster from Denver, Colorado.
Estrada has I'm sure he has a game plan, and when you have a big win like that, you don't want the adrenaline to take over what you need to stick to. It goes both ways, Sean, because when you come off of a big win like that, you get so excited and you want to do certain things, but if you see someone get upset on your team, you want to come back and do big things to get the crowd back into it.
The more you watch Derek Fields, he comes in on a roll. He's won his last 9 matches. He did not wrestle in the duel against Oklahoma State. But when you watch Fields, what's he doing so well of late that's allowed him to get on this roll and really be a consistent winner?
You know what? What's happened is the things that we don't see. We see the performance here on the mat. Good single right there. And you see how he lined up high right between the legs? But Estrada's doing a good job of keeping his hips low. You see how his knees are on the mat and his feet are extended. It's very difficult to finish there. But what I was saying about Derek Fields is the things we don't see. What he's doing in the room, the extra workouts, the keeping his weight low, what he's doing in the classroom. Those are things that we don't see, but what we see are the effects when he's out here wrestling.
Derek Fields with a wrestling family. His older brother Matt was a member of the NC State wrestling team in the past. These wrestlers won state titles. Fields in Ohio. Estrada dominated the state of Colorado for Thomas Jefferson High. Scoreless first period. Both wrestlers feeling each other out.
1 minute.
Inside a minute to go. 3-0 UNC.
NC State's attacking. So I'm thinking that if Derek Fields continues to shoot again, he's going to get a stall card. It's good that Estrada shot there just to keep him honest.
30.
Jay Cox, Mike Burns are 2 officials. Jay from the Big 12, Mike right here in the ACC, the Laramie, Wyoming native. Estrada takes a quick peek over at the clock. Content to bury the head of Fields underneath here. 10 seconds.
Short.
Try to reposition a little bit. Maybe cut to a corner.
3, 2.
Won't have enough time to do that, and a stalemate through 1. Scoreless at 165. Take a look at this history between these two, UNC and NC State. The 128th meeting, it is deadlocked. 62 apiece, 3 ties. Papalizio, ever since dropping the very first duel against UNC when he came over to Raleigh to take over this program, he has rattled off 10 straight wins. February 2013, the last time the Tar Heels celebrated a win in this rivalry. Quick stand up.
Green's got it.
Fields. Rip away. Estrada.
Still Green.
Repositioning his grips. Going to have to get a mat return regardless. He's unable to keep his latch. And Fields with the point.
Fields got to keep his offensive output moving forward. He shot a good amount of times there. Didn't get the takedown, but when you're shooting, you keep your opponent off balance. So he wants to keep the offense going.
Hands, gentlemen.
Derek Fields clearly the aggressor in the first period, Rock. What's he need to do to change it up to try to crack the armor that we've seen Estrada show through the first 3 minutes?
Yeah, I would say continue with the offense. I mean, just because you didn't get the takedown, that doesn't mean that you are not doing what you have to do. Now, I just believe right now, Fields is just the aggressor right now. I think he's warranted a stall call here. He's clearly the aggressor here.
1 minute.
What Estrada is doing that's well, he's staying in the center. His back isn't towards the out of bounds or protecting the out of bounds. But Derek Fields is clearly the one that's shooting.
Ear to ear back into the center of the mat. Fields again, and with that last shot, here comes the first stall call on Estrada. College wrestling, the next time it will be a point for Fields if he can continue to generate the pressure that he has so far.
You know what threw me? I just want to make sure about this. He put up the right hand, which is a green, but I have to think that it was a stall call. Yeah, stall call against Estrada.
Another shot by Fields. Hasn't been able to finish. This is the best position he's been in, and he'll dump Estrada down for 3.
He kept shooting. He kept shooting. He got the single, ran across for the double, ended the period with a takedown. Here's a single, and look, he just drives across. You start with one leg, you get 2 legs, and gets the takedown.
How about the poise there by Fields? Closing in second period, knew exactly the time he had to execute the 3, those unanswered points toward the end of the period. Now he'll try the riding game as we start the third and final period. But stand up, looking for that standing switch there was Estrada. Fields able to maintain control as the two work their way toward the sideline.
Estrada's got to believe that he's still in this match.
Become set on top. Become set. Stay there. Good. Stay set.
And for you fans that haven't watched college wrestling this year, a takedown is 3 points. So an escape by Estrada makes it 4-1, and then who knows what can happen.
Fields with that effective claw now takes him up, takes him right to his back. Estrada able to squeak through between the legs. Let's see how they go on this.
3 near fall, 1 for loss of control, 7-1. Riding time is not making a difference.
Riding time. Riding time was still running. It should be at 28.
So what happened there,
Put it at 28.
when here is the claw ride, he pops the hips, steps through, and at this point, he's getting back points. The referee believed that he got 3 swipes, but at that point,
I just wasn't sure if they were going to go reversal there on the edge for 2 for Estrada.
he had 1 leg, so his loss of control. Good shot there by Fields. It's going to be tough to pull this through. Good fight there by Estrada, but good job of staying on the leg by Fields. They're looking for bonus points here. He's got to take his time and look for a trip. And there's a 3-point takedown by Derek Fields. Major decision area right now.
When talking bonus points, when you look at a team duel like this, Rock brought up the major decision. You win your match by 8 or more, 8-15, your team gets an additional point. Instead of the standard 3, this would be a 4-pointer for NC State if it holds status quo here for the remaining 29 seconds.
Tony Reynolds, assistant coach at UNC, we need 1. He said we need 1. We'll start with 1.
Stay there. You're set. Okay, Red. Stay set.
29 seconds left. Coaches will say 1, not 2, meaning give up an escape, but not a reversal. He wants to keep the major decision of 8 points or more. Derek Fields, that is.
Loves that claw, doesn't he? Like so many of these Wolfpack wrestlers. Good ride, trying to bring it home the final few moments. No panic as the position slipped on him a little bit. And he is going to finish with a ride, and he will get this feet back on their feet inside Reynolds Coliseum.
This is exactly what NC State needed. A nice major decision win to take the 4-3 lead over UNC. But I tell you what, it started off with a good amount of fireworks with Sonny Santiago with the upset. And now Derek Fields with a major decision. set with the All-American Sunnyside and Tiago to get him on the board. And here's the run through by Derek Fields to get the major decision.
Gavin Kane, Dylan Fishback, as action continues from Raleigh in Friday Night Duels. Friday Night Duels rolls on next Friday as number 13 Virginia Tech hosts Duke in Blacksburg. Coverage gets underway at 7 Eastern right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. I know one thing for certain, Virginia Tech might be number 13 now. They won't be in a couple of weeks. That is a loaded lineup once again for Coach Roby and the Hokies. 174, Tyler Ishins is now in Chapel Hill. The outstanding wrestler the past several years for Stanford followed his coach, using his 6th year of eligibility. His opponent, Alex Faison, the redshirt junior in-state product, Whispering Pines, North Carolina.
This is going to be kind of an upper body match because Alex Faison likes to go underhook. And Sean, you've seen Ishins wrestle Greco as a world team member.
Part of the 2023 U.S. U23 Greco World Team. They talked about it, the decision to come back to college wrestling. He wasn't sure. You know, you look at his timeline. He graduated from Stanford in March. He trained only in the Greco-Roman style from May to September in preparation for his U23 Worlds appearance. There's a lot of hesitation whether he would come back. A couple of factors he said in the decision was, well, you look at Enoch Francois, he did not get the Stanford head coaching job. That was his main training partner on the West Coast. Made the decision in mid-November to come to Chapel Hill. He was considering maybe Wisconsin, American. Opportunity to wrestle for his old Stanford coach, Jason Borelli there. Even the California RTC thought maybe of just putting all the apples in that cart, pursuing his international dreams, but he relied on assistant coach Ryan Deacon to get some advice, and Ryan told him, hey, you're never going to have the opportunity again to come back. You won't regret it. Advice from athletes like Deacon propelled them to say, okay, I'm coming back one more year and we're going to make one more push at it. Made his Tar Heel debut over the holidays in Coralville, the great event, the Soldier Salute. Second year, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
And this is a rematch. They wrestled before. Good knee pick.
That's not in the Greco-Roman arsenal.
And he's keeping the leg. Now, Faison has to get that left arm out. He's got to get that arm out. And, ooh, slickness right there. He's keeping that foot in, so as long as the foot is in, or any part of the body is in, you keep wrestling. So he's trying to get the arm underneath and trying to bring him back in to get the takedown. Is that a takedown? Is that control? He got control. That was really good defense. That knee pick there by Faison, and somehow, let's see. And so here's the underhook. He's getting his arms underneath, and at this point, we don't see what happens. Gets behind him, and there's that toe to stand in, and then control was established.
Don't move. Don't shift. Stay there. Green, cover.
Tyler Ishins, the 3-time NCAA qualifier, has wrestled a ton of matches throughout his career, and he told us earlier this week on the call with him he was looking forward to this environment. The ACC and Friday Night Duel says he wrestles his best when the lights are the brightest, and a good first period, able to secure the takedown. Faison with the escape, 3-1. That's how he will march into period 2.
1 time.
UNC, being such a huge underdog, has really wrestled pretty good these first 3 matches.
What he did on the West Coast, 3-time NCAA qualifier. He called his Pac-12 title run one of his best memories in the sport. And then obviously aspirations on the international side with the great style of Greco-Roman wrestling. Go to the international world if you're new to wrestling, folk style here with the NCAA, but once they go with the Olympic and world aspirations, it's one of two styles. It's either freestyle or Greco-Roman, which is all upper body.
Upper body. And while freestyle is you use the total body. Legs, upper body. And this is where Aisha likes to be. Good slam there.
Faison beat him at his own game.
That's exactly what we said. Faison likes that underhook. He came in, and watch him get in. Underhook's gonna go to the underhook. They step in, come through, gets the takedown. He steps up here, watch him step in, and there's a slam right there. And gets the takedown. Oh, man, we're getting some good stuff tonight. 4-4. So the question is, Sean, is that now that Aishin, who's known for his upper body, but he got beat at upper body, as you said, so does he go back to it? Of course he's going to go back to it.
See that 2-on-1 right now by Aishin's, working hard on the left leg, has that hand firmly behind the tricep, the other hand around the wrist. Faison wisely clears out of that. That's the tie-up he doesn't want to be in. But Tyler Aishin's inside a minute to go, second period.
Going right back, same situation. Is he going to go underneath to what may be a Metzger? This is really just, you may say they're just pushing and prodding. No, they're just waiting for the right opportunity. In that upper body situation right there, you're saying, they're just holding each other. No, they're just finding that little opening to explode.
Just a slightly sense of change of pressure, change of balance, and the green light to go.
He goes right. He went to that underhook again, and then he went for that knee pick. So how do you attack a Greco-Roman specialist? You attack the legs. So he starts upper body, but then attacks the legs.
Watch face. Don't get in there.
Okay, potentially dangerous here. What was potentially dangerous? It's the hands in the face. If the hands in what's called the triangle part of the face, the top of the head, around the eyes and the nose, then that's considered potentially dangerous. If it happens again by the same wrestler, that would be a point. This is good stuff.
Alex Faison's choice. He will start underneath. Faison coming off that strong season a year ago. NCAA qualifier. Did not win a match at Nationals. In 2024, he has certainly turned it on of late. Caution given.
Make sure he comes on
and
before he
look
swings,
how,
okay? Don't move.
when you see Faison, he kind of turns to his right. Watch him kind of shift. You see how he shifts just forward to his left now. He's turning to his left just to get an advantage.
Trying to close up some gaps and spacing up to his feet. Brought right back down. Now trying to turn the tables on Aishin's. But Aishin's repositioned. Oh, look at this scramble.
Did he get back points? Did he get back points? Did he give him? He did not get back points. He did not get back points there.
North Carolina and the coaches talking amongst themselves. Do we follow it with a challenge? And here comes that green brick. They were just trying to locate it. And the challenge comes in from Cole and the Tar Heels. And you can see Rob Cole talking to our two officials, saying he wanted the near fall on the count. So that's what the conversation is as they get it all straight.
So it's going to be slow motion, so we're not going to get the true timing of it. So it's just a matter of, you see him holding the singlet. That's illegal, though. It wasn't caught, but he's holding the singlet. And he settled back. It's in slow motion, so we can't really see if it was really the amount of time of having 2 seconds. So to get back points, it's got to be breaking 45 degrees and then 2 consecutive swipes, and then it gets 2. 3 swipes, 3 points. So they're looking at it right now. So here's real time, holding his singlet right there. So this is the great thing. I don't know. So here's the great thing. Now, last year, if they were to look at the replay, they could only look at the swipes. However, if they see something illegal, they could say no back points. However, he grabbed the singlet, and so that's a technical violation at 1 point. Let's see if they see that, because to me, it was clear as day that he was holding a singlet.
One of the rule changes implemented, giving the officials the opportunity, as in this case, sure, they are looking for the swipes, but anything throughout this replay period that they spot, they can now rule on, which would be the grabbing of the singlet.
Exactly. So you may say that might not be a good challenge because they don't get the back points, but if you can see the grabbing of the singlet, he's grabbing the singlet on the other side. That's a technical violation. And so when they look at it, they have to look at everything. And if they look at it, they can say, okay, maybe they weren't back points, but that's a technical violation.
Big moment here. Jay Cox over to the public address announcer, and he will have the explanation, and let's listen in.
So, interesting. Now, Sean, what I saw, he was grabbing the singlet. That looks like technical violation to me. But when you look at it, you're supposed to look at everything.
No change. Ishins continues with the 5-4 advantage. Solid mat return. You see the energy underneath from Faison. Ishins sticks in that claw right. But Faison just continues to spring up. Into the waterfall for a moment. Now Faison with the leverage, and he gets the reversal. Riding time, not a factor. To be settled on the feet, inside a minute to go, tied at 6. And a stall call on Faison, that's his first. Ishins bringing the fight to the redshirt junior. Cole says keep the pace.
He can't push too much because Faison will go back to that underhook and maybe go to that knee pick that he got earlier. He can't bring that arm out. It'll be a key lock, which is an illegal hold, so he's got to keep that position underneath the chest of Faison.
We've already had one sudden victory tonight. Could we be heading to another? Short time, 15 seconds. Heavy collar tie. Both wrestlers look like they want the sudden victory. Neither one making much of a push. They continue to lean, and we go back to a fresh 2 minutes to decide this one.
So here's a reversal here to get position to take the lead, but then soon after, Ishins gets an escape, and that's where we are in overtime. Overtime's first point scored. Remember, Faison has a stall against him, so any stall or any point scored shuts this mismatch down. Uh-oh, this looks big. This looks big! This is big! This is big! He'll get the stick! Could he get the fall here? This is big time here! Could he get it? He's got to try to get this. Is he going to get it? This is close. Good fight by Faison. Good win by UNC. Quiet is the crowd. The rivalry is real today. The Boo Birds are out, but UNC said we're here to wrestle. Oh, man. The Cole effect is here, Sean. So here's almost a fall. Good job by just attacking, and almost there. You can see everybody on the UNC side just leaning, and they say, oh, it was there the whole time. Quiet. Oh, wow. He told him the Wolfpack.
It did not take Tyler Ishins long to make 5,000 plus friends inside this Coliseum, and I say that obviously sarcastically. He is all about the moment. You could sense the excitement in his voice for the opportunity to wrestle in front of a crowd like this, and he delivers in sudden victory. 184, Gavin Kane, North Carolina. Scored a lot of points of late. Dylan Fishback, a redshirt freshman. Had a really good year, 12-5, 7-3 in duels. And here comes one of the better-looking young wrestlers in all the college landscape, the freshman out of Aurora, Ohio.
Gavin Kane is starting to get his cardio back. It has been some time off, noticed some injuries. Dylan Fishback had just been wrestling the entire year and wrestling well.
Gavin Kane, one of the more experienced wrestlers for North Carolina, the two-time NCAA qualifier, returning All-American, had that great run in Tulsa last year, won 4 straight matches. He defeated his rival, Hunter Boland, to earn 8th place as the 11th seed. And here he gives up the first 3. Some of that footwork that we've seen from Dylan Fishback early in this campaign.
A duck under, and now he's going to try and step over. And as a freshman, you want to keep attacking. And you can see Adam Hall, the assistant coach, associate head coach at NC State, saying keep it going, because they know Gavin Kane has not wrestled this much. And Dylan Fishback has. Regardless of the fact that he's a redshirt freshman, he's been on the mat an awful lot.
It's been an injury-riddled season for Kane. Had a rough start to the year, missed the first month with a neck injury, came back, and then he was injured again, just starting to get healthy. And as you talked about, building those oxygen tanks and that endurance for this stretch run now that we've flipped the calendar to February.
He's attacking. He went right into the leg. And here's the patience that he's learning. No rush. He's bringing the leg in. Good balance by Kane. And one of the things that Kane is doing, he's not hopping. He's trying to keep that foot heavy. You see he's sliding it. He's sliding. And now it's just a matter of just taking his time.
Couple of foot sweeps, come up empty for Fishback, looks for a trip, and finishes it. Boy, real good patience. Took about 30-35 seconds. He had Kane on that one leg, and he finishes it with his second takedown.
Continuing to attack. He had the patience here. He was holding his heel, did a little running up the pipe, was kind of like lowering the leg down, and once he lowered the right leg down, he attacked the left leg.
Fishback, one of the coveted prize recruits.
1 minute,
Pat
1 minute.
Papalizio at NC State. Looks like some of the wrestlers we've seen earlier tonight. He had an eventful summer. Past June and July, winning a gold medal at the U23 Nationals in June. Then he traveled to Poland, earned a bronze medal for Team USA. Poland Open, 86 kilos. Just like so many of these young wrestlers, even before they step on the mat, even for the redshirt year, in a situation like Dylan Fishback a season ago, they have so much experience, so many matches. They don't wrestle like freshmen, or redshirt freshmen in this case.
The little thing that I'm liking about Dylan Fishback, he's keeping his stance. He doesn't come out of position.
A real good offensive 3 minutes for Dylan Fishback. And he has a 6-2 lead on the All-American from a year ago, Gavin Kane, in a weight class that was sure to see a little bit of a shakeup. Keep in mind, Trent Hidley bumped up this offseason, now at 97. So you take a look at the 4 ranked wrestlers with Heller, Fishback, Fisher, and Gavin Kane. Wide open weight come March, Chapel Hill in the ACC Championships.
If I were Dylan Fishback, I would continue to keep the pressure on Kane. And the reason for that is because he has not really wrestled as much. And you start to wonder, can he keep up the relentless pressure that he's seeing right now with Fishback? Keep moving forward.
Maybe Gavin Kane recently. He has certainly found his offense. He scored 27 points. Right now, though, he's on his defense. And look at the follow-through there by Fishback to seal it and get 3 more.
He got the takedown, but he grimaced a little bit right there. And so if he had decided to say, give me injury time, then he would have given up position to Fishback. So he's just going to just kind of grit it out. But if we had a chance, you could see that as soon as he went down, that right leg looked like something happened.
1 minute, 1 minute. Improve for me, guys.
Neck injury to start the year. We talked about his 2 stints battling his body. That's really been the only thing that has slowed down Gavin Kane this season. The second injury, the one that he is dealing with, is that right knee, and that's the one that caused him to grimace on that last exchange. And you can tell a factor underneath. Take nothing away from Dylan Fishback. 3 takedowns, a good ride here. Can he hang on for the final 30 seconds in the second period, approaching 2 minutes of riding time?
And if you're Dylan Fishback, you don't care what hurts. You keep wrestling hard.
A sea of red getting antsy, wanting a stall underneath. We'll get a stalemate instead. And let's go back to that exchange that Gavin Kane grimacing in pain.
So he goes to here and watch him plant, and you see the grimace, and he reaches toward that brace.
Always improving.
And then the official got down and asked him, do you want injury time? And he said no. Sean, in our conversation with Kane, he said, yeah, he's never really dealt with injuries like he's done so far this year. And he said his body is getting worn down.
Tough moment for the junior from Milton, Georgia. State that has produced a lot of solid wrestling over the last few years, and more coming through the pipeline. Dylan Fishback in control, 10-2. NC State, maybe bonus point opportunity here.
Hands, guys.
Fishback has to continue to move his feet because clearly Kane is nursing something, and when you have lots of motion, it's hard to react when you're not completely healthy.
In mind as well, Fishback has 2 minutes, 10 seconds of riding time. Stall call on Kane, that's a warning. Just really not putting much weight on his right leg. Half-hearted shot there, easily smothered. Counter, swinging around to the back, elevating, and 3 more for Fishback.
Yep, and they're talking to him. They're saying, let him go. Here it is, he just chased it. When I say chasing, he was trying to get behind and he attacked the brace and got the takedown. So it's 13-2. They're saying, bring him up. Gamesmanship. He said, let him get down on his knees and get set, and then I'll tell him to get back up. Just little things to get into the mind of your opponent.
He has riding time locked, which means it's a 14-3 lead right now. If you start to think maybe a technical fall for Fishback and winning by 15 or more points. 45 seconds, he has time to work. If you're Kane, you're just trying to take one for the team here, buckle down and prevent that extra additional bonus point. Another stall call. That'll be a point for Fishback. Now 14-3.
And Kane is just trying not to give up that takedown for a technical fall. And this Reynolds Coliseum is trying to will this takedown for Fishback. They want to be excited to get a technical fall by the redshirt freshman against a returning All-American. Look for it. Might get a little duck on it. Kane's doing just enough.
3, 2, 1.
Dylan Fishback gets the Wolfpack back on the winning track. Bonus point win for NC State. And the redshirt freshman Dylan Fishback, who runs his mark to 13-5 this year. His 8th bonus point victory.
And it was a good turnaround from the last week's loss. I should have the overtime win against Payson and letting them know the rivalry is here. And the freshman looking really good against an All-American.
197, one of the fan favorites, Trent Hidley, the 4-time All-American. Max Shaw having his best season to date. The two collide next in Raleigh. Here's Wednesday night's ACC Network men's basketball doubleheader. It all starts Louisville and Syracuse at 7 Eastern. Then number 7 Duke hosts Notre Dame. Next door, Cameron Indoor over in Durham. It's a doubleheader of ACC men's basketball Wednesday night. The ACC Network and the ESPN app. Trent Hidley is in the house, the fan favorite. The 4-time All-American national finalist. New weight, new look, bumping up from 84 this offseason. Showing no signs of slowing down. 17-0, 15 by way of bonus points in the accustomed friendly shove that Hidley likes to start each and every match with. Let his opponent know that it's going to be a physical 7 minutes. Max Shaw, the redshirt junior out of Pittsburgh, Thomas Jefferson High School. Shaw, what a start this year. 14-3, 12-1 in duels. Big test tonight with the 4-time All-American. Hidley, known for his powerful underhooks.
Russell in the center, man.
When talking to the UNC coaching staff and assistant coach Enoch Francois, they have a way to deal with the underhook. Now, it's theoretical, but they have a strategy.
Unproven.
We'll find out tonight.
Action out.
Ear-to-ear collar tie. Hidley was the 5 seed back in 2020 before the Nationals were called off in Minneapolis. He was the runner-up in 21, took 3rd in 22, 4th last year, so 3 straight top 5 finishes. And again, all of those All-American showings down a weight at 84.
And you see Trent Hidley, and this is not uncommon, that the match is relatively tight early. The question is, can you keep up with this pace for the next 5 minutes?
There's that powerful underhook. You see simultaneously reaching for the far leg. Just as Hidley shot in. Teetering near the edge. And the momentum continuation out of bounds.
So Hidley is, there's blood. There's blood. He doesn't want to stop. Hidley says, I don't want to stop. I just want to wipe me off. But what's happening is Hidley is getting the underhook. And what Max Shaw is doing, he's crossing his forearm across the face of Hidley to keep him from going across the body for the underhook. So watch it. When he gets it, immediately Max Shaw puts the right hand across the face. There's the underhook.
Fingers, guys.
This is Trent Hidley. This is Trent Hidley. Trent Hidley, he gets the underhook and he keeps the pressure. So once his opponent puts his hips back, he then goes to a hip toss. I don't know how you stop it. This isn't just a collegiate problem. This is a world problem. This is like Iranian-style underhook. The only person I've seen that's really shut it down has been Aaron Brooks. And I don't want to go into details how he's doing it, but anyone else outside of Aaron Brooks, they have a hard time defending this underhook.
Brooks of Penn State beat Hidley 3-2 in the 21 finals and then again in the semis.
So when you give Trent Hidley space like that, he goes to a hip toss, underhook, hip toss. But when you crowd him, he goes to the knee pick. So it's either you have to pick your poison. If you're close, he'll do a knee pick. If you give him space, he'll do a hip toss.
Hidley will try to ride out the final few moments of period one. Commanding 7-0 lead, and you hit it right on the button rock. Talking about Trent Hidley. It'll be a little low scoring for the first minute and a half, and then he just kicks it in, and it doesn't take much for him to rack up those points quickly. Take a look at the rankings. Aaron Brooks coming up to 97. Buchanan, Oklahoma 2. Hidley sitting at the number 3 spot. And these fans absolutely love him. The emotion he brings each and every time. Just talk to him on the streets or in the practice room. He has that same personality that fans of the sport just gravitate to.
Little interesting thing you may not have saw there. There's a seatbelt position. When a seatbelt, he had the seatbelt position, and Trent Hidley just notified the fans to get into it. And they are responding. When there was the underhook there, he turned his elbow in and slipped it out.
Blood in the water right now. Hidley feeling it, up 11.
It's so difficult to deal with this pace. Push, prod, push, prod. If you push in, he's going to drive you across. If you give him space, he's going to do a hip toss.
Commanding lead, 14-1. Drives that forearm into the back of the neck of Max Shaw, who, keep in mind, is wrestling really well. Shaw having his best start to a season. This is a 2-time NCAA qualifier in Shaw, but boy, he has really looked good to start this season, but running into a buzzsaw tonight.
He is playing to the crowd. What a showman. He's telling him, get down, hurry up. This is good television.
Action, gentlemen, action!
Approaching a minute and a half of riding. Just as I say that, Shaw tagged with stalling. Hidley continues the ride.
Offense, gentlemen, 30.
He's just wearing him down. Not doing a whole lot with the turn, but he's just keeping the pressure forward. Pressure forward meaning that the weight is on the shoulders and putting the weight on the hands. He's just making he's being a nuisance right now, just being difficult.
Switches to the front side. Doesn't have a lot of time. Hidley with 5 seconds to work in this period.
3, 2,
One more thrust near the edge, and that is going to be it for period 2. All Trent Hidley.
So he goes to a little arm spin. And with the arm spin by Max Shaw, comes back and gets a takedown for Hidley. He is really trying to get this crowd into it. And if he gets a tech fall here, you're going to hear Reynolds pop.
3 straight ACC titles for Hidley, who grew up in rural Pennsylvania, Lewistown, about 30 miles south of State College.
Look for a pancake.
He's inflicted his damage from his feet. And wants the cradle. He could have had the 3. He said, nope, I want the fall.
That's exactly it.
Well, he'll get the tech fall, and let's listen.
He said, but it was a little straightforward, and he said that you're talking a little too much. Look at it, I'm pointing at you.
Heavyweight, North Carolina, Cade Lout, Owen Treffin, NC State. It's getting heated here inside Reynolds before we jump to the lightweights. Spencer Moore, will it be Jacob Camacho or Trombley? We'll find out. Can't beat the powder blue and the red and white here in Reynolds on a Friday night. Boy, what a great environment here inside Reynolds Coliseum. Friday night duels, NC State, UNC at the intermission. The Wolfpack out in front, 13-6. The 128th meeting between these two rivals. Friday night duels rolls on over the next 3 weekends. Next week, Blacksburg, Virginia Tech, and Duke. And then February 16th, it's North Carolina and Virginia, Steve Garland and the Cavaliers. And then we close out on the 23rd, the two favorites coming into the year. They go toe-to-toe each and every season. Will it be Virginia Tech or NC State? You go by the sheer numbers in this one. All 20 wrestlers ranked. The last 6 ACC champions have come from either Blacksburg or Raleigh. And you look at what they have done at the ACC championships as well. The Wolfpack and Pat Popolizio, they've had the upper hand. They have won 5 straight ACC titles. If you're just joining us, man, you've missed a lot. It started with an upset win. Sonny Santiago knocking off the All-American Ed Scott. NC State with 3 bonus point victories. Derek Fields, Dylan Fishback, and a few moments ago, Trent Hidley ending the match early with the Tech Bowl. £285, Owen Treffin, North Carolina State, and we get a change for UNC. Adam Honus gets the nod, the redshirt sophomore. This will be his dual debut tonight, taking on Treffin, who leads the Wolfpack, a team-high 4 falls, 11-5 this year for the reigning ACC champ.
And he's gotten better. He's been put in tough situations, and NC State has a tough heavyweights, and not just this year, but years before. They breed competition at NC State, and whoever the best wrestler is, they don't care if you're returning ACC champion, returning All-American, whoever's the best wrestler that's going to help the team, they're going to wrestle.
You're wondering, well, what's the story with Cade Lout? He was a question mark coming in, a little dinged up, and he's already an undersized heavyweight, so you don't want to send a heavyweight out, especially as talented as Lout, who's not 100%, who's giving up size, so they elect to try to get him healthy for next week. And it's the redshirt sophomore Honus who has the task of trying to slow down the freight train the past couple of months, and Owen Treffin, who is scoring a lot of points, Rock.
Owen Treffin he's grown into a heavyweight, and he was smaller, and he has offense on his feet, meaning he was taking penetration shots. But that shot right there wasn't really a penetration. This way he does a chin back. He'll lift up his opponent and does a chin back. He'll get behind his opponent, hip in, and then he'll slide back. And so now he just steps forward. He doesn't do a penetration step. He just drives his feet. And it was and that's where he steps in and brings him down to the mat. And the official said, we want to call something here. So what they may be looking at, and we're not sure yet, it looks like they're looking to see if he just brought him out and just brought him back to the mat, and maybe, yeah, his feet landed first. So it's not like he landed on his back and his back was parallel to the mat, but his foot came down first and then he brought him down. So he comes up, and watch that right foot come down. The right foot comes down. I think the official looking to see that maybe they were looking for back points there as well. But it looks like it was their time and they were looking for back points.
Confirmed, no back.
No back points. He's got to watch it again, because Treffin will do the same thing. He'll get you stand up and then chin back and get his opponent to his back. We've seen that over the years, Sean. This way you have to be careful. You want to keep kind of crouched over. You don't want to give him too much space.
Obviously the adjustment there by Honus. Gets the escape, he's on the board. Grew up around Syracuse, Jamesville DeWitt High School. Haven't seen a lot of Adam Honus in UNC with 4 heavyweights on the roster. Obviously Lout, their main guy. And we had a lot of fun talking to Rob Cole earlier this week, and energy level that he brings, returning to his alma mater after the successful stints at both Cornell for so many years, 2+ decades, and then the past 2 years on the West Coast at Stanford. Treffin on the hunt, into the air, right to his back. And now Treffin, we talked about his ability to get the full, runs out of real estate, but boy, he inflicts more damage.
Watch him pop his hips in. As soon as he's in the air, he shifts his hips to get the takedown and near fall. He had that single and then drive across. He popped his hips in, and once Honus was in the air, Treffin shifted his hips to come out on top and get near fall. 2 swipes equals 2 points for a near fall. And when I say swipes, it's a 2 count.
1 minute, 1 minute. 1 green. You're neutral.
We haven't seen much of an attack by a good snatch again. And Treffin is looking sharp. He snatched. When I say snatch, he lowered his level and just reached for the leg, clasped his hands, and sucked it in. And got the takedown. 11-2. Complete domination.
30.
See, Treffin commits to the ride here a little bit, winding down this first period.
Work on this edge, gentlemen.
Sean, you said he was scoring a lot of points. It's 11 points by a heavyweight in the first period.
And Treffin won the ACC championship last year, went on to win a couple of matches at Nationals in Tulsa.
3, 2,
The techniques that Treffin used before the start of last year was he spent a lot of time working on freestyle just to try to diversify his offense.
And diversify he did. He took a left leg step, snatched the leg in, and that's a very safe takedown for heavyweights. Many times when heavyweights get underneath another heavyweight, it's tough for them to get. But if you just step and snatch, it's a safer attack. You don't want to get under these guys that are 260 pounds when you're trying to do a penetration step, putting your knee to the mat and trying to drive through.
Treffin cuts him, feeling confident as he should on his feet. 11-3 Owen Treffin, 11-5 this year. Grew up watching his brothers have big careers in this sport. He just continues to work his magic. Cut and release now.
Snap down. Here's another takedown. Keeping the pressure on the head and just being a bully right now. One more takedown, a tech fall. Spinning around, and there's a tech fall. Diversified attacks by Owen Treffin and getting this place loud.
Back-to-back Tech 4 wins by NC State. Their upperweights getting it done. The 1-2 punch of Heidler and Treffin, the reigning ACC champs. Don't forget our next All Access. The ACC Life is a very special one and premieres Monday night. ACC student athletes and administrators from all 15 ACC institutions traveled to Washington, D.C. in July of last year on the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington to experience and learn more about racial and gender equity. Inland Cup hosts this special All Access at 7 Eastern right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Last 2 weeks at this weight for North Carolina State, it's been Jared Trombley, the ACC champ from a year ago, ready to take on Spencer Moore. And here comes Trombley and the depth that the Wolfpack have at several weights, highlighted here at 125 with Jacob Camacho, who we won't see, and Trombley, the ACC champ, who we will.
You may not know Spencer Moore, but he's like a Wolverine. He will keep going, and Jared Trombley will keep going. This is what you expect of lightweights. 125, the lightest weight class, and guys that will continue to wrestle hard. Both of these guys wrestle very hard pace.
Trombley, a three-time NCAA qualifier, all at 25, I should say, last year 25, at 33 and 20 and 21. Mr. Versatility for the Wolfpack has bounced between those two weights. Spencer Moore trying to bounce back from his first dual loss that he sustained last week against Virginia Tech.
You said Trombley is very versatile. We're not just talking about weight class, but he has a 4.0. He's applied to medical school and all over the place, and he continues to do that as well as move up and down the weights. That is versatility on and off the mat.
Working on his master's degree right now after his undergrad degree in biology. They were telling us both he and Trent Hidley compete for the highest GPA on the team. He's not making many friends with his classmates. He's recently set the new standard in a test where 88% was an A+ on the curve. Well, what Jared Trombley do? He scored a 98%.
He would not be my friend.
No, he would not be mine. I had no idea what the 90s and 80s looked like in college, to be honest.
The only 90s I knew was when I lived in that decade.
Improving offense,
I thought
gentlemen.
it was going to be a wrestling
Here.
one. I thought you were going there for a while.
No way.
Stalemate. Good job, man.
Way through this first period, no score. Man, what a fun night. What a great night to celebrate the ACC, these two rivals. Rob Cole introduced into the fray for the first time as a head coach in this long-standing rivalry. The emotions, the fun these athletes are having, the fan base, a little bit of everything tonight. Hope you're enjoying it at home.
The good thing about Spencer Moore is that he came in as an undersized, young freshman, wrestled, and he took the year to redshirt, and he's gotten bigger, so much so that he's actually cutting weight. And it's been a little challenging for him to get down, which is good.
Spencer Moore hasn't been healthy all year either. He injured his hip. He was ill after Las Vegas. That kept him off the mat for nearly a month. Competed at the Keene Invitational to close out right before the holidays, and he returned for the last couple of duels against Virginia Tech and Navy.
30.
Cole is really high on him. I've talked about his gas tank. He is going to give you full 7 minutes of wrestling each and every time out. Might not be the biggest or the strongest or the most technical, but he will make you go the full 7.
And as he's going to full 7, Trombley is continuing to shoot, keeping the pressure on. Good defense by Moore, but he's got to show himself. There's a little half shot there, not a full shot. And we're going to the second period with a 0-0. I don't know if we've had any of the matches that start off 0-0.
Pat Popolizio really has built a dynasty here in Raleigh, and that has gained so much respect from coaches, fans outside the ACC spectrum. And Rob Cole has a plan. He's been very clear about that plan. Initially, it started out as a 3-year plan, but that has dwindled down a little bit the last couple of weeks.
It is not a long-term plan. It is a quick fix.
We had an opportunity to talk with the great Bill Lamb, the longtime Tar Heel coach earlier in Rock. He came right over to us and said, it's a 1-year plan with Coach Cole.
That's a legal cutback because his foot stayed on the mat. He didn't bring both of his feet up, which is legal in freestyle. Illegal in folk style, which is the collegiate style. So even though Trombley is taking more of the shots, Spencer Moore is staying right in the center, but at some point he's got to give a real attack.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Both wrestlers shoot simultaneously. Buried underneath is Moore. Let's see what Trombley can do with this position. Tugs on that front head.
Right.
Reaches for that far ankle. Moore will continue to circle, not allowing him to get to that ankle position. Good job here by Spencer Moore underneath, but there's still lots of time for Trombley to work.
And he's continuing to work. He's continuing to work. It doesn't look like much, but he's continuing to move his feet and try and, what we say, cut the corner, get behind.
Finally a stalemate with 12 seconds remaining, period 2.
12 on the clock.
Well, these guys are wrestling hard. It's just not many points.
3, 2, 1.
A shot again by Trombley, just so the official keeps that in the back of his mind to close out the second period. Good look at Trombley. I think that last shot, he might have cracked something open in his mouth there.
You see, Moore is kind of tilting to his right. He's going to try and bring that right elbow in to keep the leg from getting in.
As long as you're not twisting it.
Too quick up top. Trombley giving a caution.
So you see he's kind of shifting his hips to one side.
Stay set.
He's trying to catch that leg. And Trombley is lacing the ankle.
You got to drop that.
And Trombley showed us last week that he's very tough on top. And Trombley, we've seen it many times over, that the big difference between high school and college wrestling is this, mat wrestling. He's holding his foot with the leg in.
The first time we've seen him stick that leg in. Kind of a cross body here. And you see that right arm now for Moore in a vulnerable position. Man, this is really testing the flexibility of Spencer Moore and some of those shoulders. Trombley continues to ride.
This is where Trombley wants to be.
1 minute.
Looking for a back arm. He turned Camacho last week with the same move. But Spencer is trying to elevate his hips to get higher. It's a hustle game now. And now riding time is starting to become a problem. He's going to hold on to try and get the riding time. Short time at this point, stopping the riding time. The riding time is not continuing.
Did not improve his position working up the body, so they're going to go make sure that riding time stopped at 58, which it did.
It looked like they went to take 1 second off to make it 57.
Ken Burns over by the table, taking a look up. I think he might be right here, Rock.
So Mike Burns went over and checked it out. Smart wrestling here to get the riding time. Now he's not going to let him go. He's going to continue to keep the plate. Big difference. He's making a statement here. Now it's just a little roll action. And Trombley is very, very content here. Right now it's a 2-0 lead. He's going to try and drive him through the mat. Smart wrestling here by Trombley. Very smart wrestling. When I was talking to NC State, they said that every winner they had, they were working on their celebration. And so far, it looks like they've been practicing well.
Dominant ride in the third period for Jared Trombley. 2 Friday night duels, 2 victories, and a unique celebration to good measure tonight.
Here is the pop, shift the hips, and 2, the near fall, and then here's the practice celebration. Twist it, lift it, and then bang it.
.133, Kyle Rainey, the redshirt junior, the two-time NCAA qualifier, matched up against Jace Palmer, sophomore from Casper, Wyoming, and then the matchup of the night at 41, a top 5 showdown, Ryan Jack, Lachlan McNeil, as Friday Night Duels rolls on from Reynolds. Four straight wins rattled off by North Carolina State. Reynolds Coliseum celebrating on a Friday night a 21-6 lead over their rival North Carolina. And the coaching debut for Rob Cole in this long-standing rivalry. Cole coming over from Stanford, and one of his prized athletes, Lachlan McNeil, and there's an Olympian in the house, Lachlan's father, Callum. Represented Great Britain, 68 kilos in the 1992 Olympic Games. He is here to watch his son. Coming up in just a little bit, our featured matchup, McNeil and Ryan Jack. But first, it's 133. Kyle Rainey, the ACC champion. Jace Palmer, the redshirt sophomore, year 2 in the starting lineup for the Tar Heel, who is a long way from home. Had an outstanding high school career. Casper, Wyoming, 4-time Wyoming state champion. Wrestling for head coach Travis Peak, at the time, one of just 24 wrestlers in the history of Wyoming high school to win 4 state championships. He was the first Casper wrestler to do it. Big head tap there, and there was no head to be found.
Oh, he ducked that. Palmer's going to shoot a lot, given the opportunity. He's just moving around, bouncing.
Rainey with a near miss. Cole told us in our call with him earlier this week, guys like Jace Palmer, shooting has not been the problem. It's been finishing. You go back to his match against Navy. He had a ton of shots, just could not finish them. Here he's on the defense as O'Reilly, who's a real good finisher. Looking for that trip. Can't quite capture that far leg, so he goes right back into that same position. Very comfortable here. Captures that second leg, gets the 3.
This year's not a hand touch. It's got to be control being felt. In that situation, both hands were down, and the official, Jay Cox, felt that takedown was taken. So he keeps the single leg, and he's going to trip forward. He's going to do a forward trip, and he tripped it high. He didn't trip below the knee. He tripped high, and at that point, Palmer had to brace himself, put the both hands down. Weight was bearing on both hands, and that's a takedown. And this is where NC State has really built a strong reputation in their top wrestling. We saw it in the last match at 125, and we're seeing it now with the start of O'Reilly, the All-American.
Very quietly, Kyle Rainey just goes about his business. In his junior year, already a couple of NCAA championship appearances. Seeded 15th a couple of years ago, went 2-2, and just keeps getting better every year. Last season, an All-American, placing 8th. He had the run to an ACC title, knocking off both Sam Latona and Mickey Philippi. It was a year after placing 3rd at the ACCs. Getting better with age and more experience. Very solid, fundamentally sound. Good mat return here, over a minute of riding time, trying to close out this first period with the ride.
What you saw with that mat return, he popped to one side. When Palmer went to the other side, he went to the other side, and then he finally got the mat return. Important to end the period on top.
Here we go, guys. 9 on the clock.
Pat Papalizio, 3-time ACC Coach of the Year, 3 straight top 10 national finishes for the Wolfpack. 6th in 21, 10th the last couple of years. Solid 3 minutes of wrestling for O'Reilly and a 3-0 lead.
And O'Reilly is going to take the bottom position.
identical, so very complimentary of the work that Popolizio has done
Stay set for me, man. Here we go.
here in Raleigh. And it was interesting. We've talked to Pat quite a bit through the years, and with Rob now in the ACC talking about the future of the sport, how geographically a lot of people feel it's shifting to the southern regions of the country.
And it's a big advantage for the ACC for geography. You know, parents want to see their wrestlers, and people want to move, but they don't want to get too far from home. Good shot, and the weather's always good. Well, not always good, but most of the time pretty good in the southeast area. You see how he's just holding the foot? He didn't try to kick it. He tried to just hook it. So the first time in the first period, he tripped high above the knee. This time when he can't do a back trip here because that'll be illegal. So he's going to sweep it down and get the takedown. So what we see now, he did a sweep, kind of like a golf swing. He had a baseball grip. He didn't swing it across the body. He swung it down like he's swinging a golf swing. And then when he brought it up, he attacked the other leg.
1 minute. 1 minute.
And I don't play golf.
Although you'd have that short, compact swing. I bet you'd be pretty good at it. Except if you missed a shot, it'd drive you nuts for the next 3 years. You can't let go.
You're right about that.
Stand up, or at least an attempted stand up underneath by Palmer, and this has been a tough spot for him. Arini has had success with the ride, as evident by the 2+ minute worth of riding time, and again just wrapping his way around Palmer as we go back to the last 3.
So he swung it down, and then right when it came down, since the other leg was there, he attacked it. We've seen other wrestlers, they swing it, and once they bring it up, the opponent loses their balance, but he brought it down, and when he brought it down, he went across and got the leg. So you have 2 choices. When you swing it down, get the other leg, or bring it back up.
Red, you got it. Red.
Good job by Arini with authority.
Green.
Feeling Palmer work his way near the edge. Gets some advice from Popolizio before reporting back to the center.
14 on the clock, guys. Keep improving.
Adam Hall to Popolizio's left. 2-time All-American back in his day. A Pac-10 championship while wrestling for Boise State. Final few moments here in period 2. One last burst of energy. Arini was ready for it. 2.5 minutes of riding time and a 7-0 lead through the first couple of periods. Take a look at some of the other ACC action tonight. Virginia Tech, a 27-9 win. Take a look at Latona, though, losing to Yarborough 15-7.
Not losing, getting major there. Marlon Yarborough's had a really good season, but I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Big individual win for Garland and the Cavaliers in that particular weight. Virginia Tech wins the battle, though. Hokies now 2-0 in ACC competition.
Neutral. Clean up the hands, guys. Clean it up.
He's going, attacking that left leg of Palmer over again. What he did there, he had to single up there, Sean. He tried to hook it, and once he hooked it, he went right to a double. When I say hook it, he kind of cuffed it with his foot. NC State's trying to put on a show now.
Bonus point territory, obviously, with Arini. Palmer has not been able to get to his offense, even in this reshot here. Arini
Cradle
has the hands underneath secured. Can he roll over the sophomore from Casper? And he does!
Back points there, but is he close to a fall? You can hear the stomping here at Reynolds Coliseum. What he has to do is he has to extend him a little more. Good fight there by Palmer. 4-point tick near fall. And there's a tech fall. Let's see the celebration. They are celebrating there all over the place. There's the near fall, which was what put it into a tech fall. Good fight by Palmer to get off, but NC State has been on a roll. They were practicing this. Now, this is something that Kyrene does often, but that extra one, I haven't seen that one. That's a little extra you put on there.
Time now for the feature matchup of the night. This is going to be terrific. Two top 5 wrestlers, two wrestlers who are very familiar with one another. Ryan Jack, 11-3 this year, the two-time NCAA qualifier. Lachlan McNeil, the returning All-American, 18-3. Buckling up for what's going to be a busy month ahead as he tries to qualify the Olympics and Team Canada. But first things first, Ryan Jack, who has been his nemesis of late.
And Ryan Jack has said he wants to score. He's tired of having close matches with individuals. He wants to leave the mat exhausted. And when he lost last week to Cole Matthews, he said, I felt I could have gone 5 more minutes. And he said, I want to keep scoring. I don't care if I win or lose. I want to score. However, when you keep scoring, you increase the probability of you winning.
Jack losing a wild one with Matthews. Cole recognized for that win. ACC Wrestler of the Week. It was 15-10.
Play on the hands, guys. Nothing there.
Last week in the Steel City, and now it's Lachlan McNeil. 18-3 on the year. Jack to his offense. Repositions and gets the 3.
Within the first 30 seconds, he was attacking just like he did last week. He's made a conscious decision to really be offensive. And Lachlan McNeil says he realizes that people understand that he sits the corner. When I say sits the corner, he lets people get to their legs, but he's got to work on his basic defense. Hand, head, hips down. And Ryan Jack is going to keep this output going. They've already wrestled once this year, won by
Put
Jack.
your hands up, guys.
That was at the Keene Invitational in Las Vegas right before the holiday stretch. 4-2. Lost to Jack twice last year as well. 4-3 in the ACC Championship, 7-5 in the regular season duel.
He clubbed ahead, Lachlan McNeil did. Dropped down to the right ankle, didn't get there. But stuff like that, what you call data points. How did he respond? Was I there? Do I need to do something a little differently? So the things that you see in the first period, good shot there. You see how he's keeping his hand right in the middle? He's going to try and pop the hips and then try to get across. Now, Lachlan McNeil, this is where he feels strong. And he's going to try and sit the corner. Sit the corner means to get across. This is where Lachlan McNeil gets very good.
Neal very comfortable in this position. Jack, who started it, now almost has to turn to the defender here just because of what McNeil is capable of. He loses his grip, though. Jack drives in deeper. Let's see how this ends up. They roll through the action. Still nothing. Jack with his initial shot still firmly entrenched.
Great hold. Neutral. 30.
McNeil should peel the top hand. He's trying to lift it up. He should peel the 4 fingers. You can grab the 4 fingers. He should peel the top.
Potentially dangerous, and they stop it.
Good shot there by Jack to get in, but very patient defense by McNeil. The first takedown here, he dropped down to a single, drove across, and ended up with a double.
Clean hands, guys. Keep it clean.
Ryan Jack finishes that shot on a lot of wrestlers that we just saw. McNeil down 2. Final few moments of the first period tick away, and a 3-1 lead for Jack after 1. Very strong weight class for the second straight year in the ACC. Take a look at the top 5 in the country. Real Woods, Iowa. Bo Bartlett, Penn State. Mendez of Ohio State. And then it's these two, 4 and 5, the ACC. Well represented.
And Bo Bartlett just beat Jesse Mendez in the dual meet they had with Penn State versus Ohio State.
Green's neutral.
Let's see if Jack continues the offense. And McNeil says he realizes he needs to be more offensive.
Hands, guys.
Lackland told us he needs to get it going offensively, feels and truly believes he can finish on anyone, but he must be willing to shoot.
He did say that.
Stay out of the fingers.
Clear out that hand defense of Jack. Couple of tugs. Snap there. Jack leaning in. Back to the collar tie.
Lackland McNeil has a square stance. A square stance. Something happened here. Let's see. Potentially dangerous. Somebody must have put their hands in the face.
Hey, 2 things, sir.
Triangle area on the face.
As I said, Lackland McNeil has what's called a square stance, where both legs are generally right on straight across from each other. Many wrestlers lead with a left leg or a right leg, but Lackland kind of keeps both legs about the same width apart from each other.
What's the advantage of that? Why go with the square approach?
I don't know. And usually when you see that, it's more of a defensive stance. But it also allows you to defend both legs efficiently. Starting to get more technical chess match now.
The assistant coaches for both of these wrestlers, very prevalent in their success. You look at Ryan Jack, his older brother Kevin, who was always along the mat side cheering on his younger brother. Those two very tight. You have the brotherly connection. Then while for UNC, Lackland McNeil, growing up, his favorite wrestler was Tony Ramos, the assistant for UNC, who's coaching him hard. You take a look at not just McNeil, but also Santiago, who started tonight with a bang. Both of these wrestlers will make the trip to Acapulco later this month to try to represent and get their countries qualified for the Olympic Games in Paris, summer 2024.
Acapulco in February sounds good to me.
You know, with the trip to the Pan Americans for McNeil and Santiago, they'll be away for about 10 or 11 days. The Pan Am Championships and then the Pan Am Olympic qualifiers back to back.
This is where
Lackland
McNeil has to move forward. And Ryan Jack knows Lackland McNeil has to come to him. And he has to stay basic. He doesn't have any stall calls against him. And Lackland McNeil has to put the pressure on, because generally, when you shoot in on Jack, you don't finish cleanly. So it's not going to be a get in and finish in 5 seconds. It could be a long period. When I say a long period of time.
These two wrestlers so close, and now McNeil with his best shot just couldn't quite find the leg, and back to the feet we go. You know, you go back to Las Vegas, it ended up 4-2. How ironic is it now we're sitting 4-2?
Looks like a chest wrap here.
McNeil using those long arms, trying to get to the wrap. Now he tries to get to a corner.
You're good.
Key exchange here, Rock, as you take a look, 30 seconds to go. But keep an eye on that.
Looking for
in the angle.
A cradle. He's got to bump that hip. That's not quite there. He's got to bump that hip, but he's got to keep that leg in. That's not a takedown yet. He's going to try. He can't let go of this. And Jack feels very good here, but he's going to bump it. Is he going to get the cradle? Did he get it? No, they said it's out of bounds. No, he did get the 3. He did get the 3. And there's the break, of course. Whew. So, we got to break this down. There's a cradle. We got to see, did all parts of the body stay in bounds? bounds. So it looks like the right leg was out, but it's not out of bounds. It's got to be the cylinder goes from the mat to the heavens. So
like an invisible line.
It is an invisible line. So if any part of anybody stayed in that cylinder while in control, that is a takedown. So that right leg is in, and when he rolls, watch to see what the left leg does. Right leg in, left leg. He said out of bounds and 3. So what we don't know is the angle that they are seeing when I say they, the officials. Right foot in, that left leg, can we tell if it all the way went down? So if it's not indisputable, you stay with the mat. So here we go. They're going to look to see, was it indisputable? I mean, is there enough evidence to overturn it?
And keep in mind, the call is 3. So is there enough evidence to overturn the 3 and the takedown?
That one official referee, excuse me, one. So here's the right foot. Let's see what happens. Can we slow it down here? Can we just slow it down? Yes. It's that one foot that was in the air. So he pushed out of bounds first. Usually mechanics, you want to award the 3 first before you wave out of bounds. So this is very critical because there's the 3 and then the out of bounds. So he did award a 3 before he waved the out of bounds. It's going to, I mean, it is so close with that left leg if that is in the cylinder from the angle. If we had a top camera, so what happened here? Here it is. They said it was out. They said it was out.
Jay Cox explaining his decision. Tony Ramos really upset. Rob Cole upset.
They said that he was completely out of bounds, and we couldn't see. We could not see, and it's getting really chippy here. Really chippy here.
Both benches barking at one another. Lackland McNeil obviously frustrated. Jack just running away here, and that is going to be it. Just like in Vegas, a 4-2 win here in February in Raleigh. Ryan Jack.
That one was a tough call. And they're pointing and saying that was an awful call. I didn't say that, but I read the lips of Tony Ramos. He said, "Oh, awful." They're on a roll here. NC State dominating and then winning the tight matches as well.
29-6 Wolfpack, final weight class, 149. The Tar Heels go with the redshirt freshman Jaden Scott. Number 3, Jackson Arrington trying to bring it home for NC State. Welcome back to Reynolds Coliseum as we get set for the final weight of the night, 149. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 10 Eastern, after our men's basketball doubleheader, the Nothing But Net crew will break down the day in the ACC. Highlights and analysis of every men's game, and then look ahead at the best matchups on the schedule in the coming week. That's coverage you can only find in one place, right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. What a night it has been. North Carolina State about to win their 11th straight against their rival UNC, 29-6 Wolfpack. And now at 149, Jackson Arrington. NCAA qualifier, had that great run at Nationals last year, reaching the round of 12, taking on Jaden Scott, promising youngster out of the Henrietta, New York area. Rush Henrietta. Stall call early, the warning for Scott and stepping up.
Jackson Arrington, he comes over with the left hand. Good shot there. Let's see if he's patient here to bring it high. And at this point, he changes from the outside in and looking to trip. And it's just half the battle getting to the legs. Getting to the legs is hard, but finishing is that much tougher.
Good hold. Good hold. Good hold.
Oh, my.
Ooh. Could feel that one all the way here at the broadcast table. Arrington said, the heck with the trip. I'm going to go power. And a thunderous 3 for Jackson Arrington.
It looks like Scott was looking to do a Granby right in the middle air. So he's going to pop his hips and looks to go, ow. That, man, I think I'm going to ice my neck.
But a strong year as expected for Jackson Arrington, coming off the NCAA berth a year ago. He's won 4 straight matches, including last week's win over his former teammate, Finn Solomon, 4-2. Look at his losses. They came in Vegas. He lost to Dylan D'Amelio, and then he had the 2 medical forfeits. Came back and beat the Buckeye later in Nashville at the Journeyman Collegiate Duels. But a nice win against Jordan Williams of Oklahoma State. So a bigger, stronger, faster Jackson Arrington looking to improve off a strong freshman run a year ago.
I was talking to Ivy Trumbull, the U23 world champion for NC State, and he said that Jackson Arrington has really taken a leadership role. He's saying that he's really getting to a point almost like Trent Hiley, maybe not as intense, but the fact that he's staying on everyone, not just the underclassmen, he's staying on them. And the way he's wrestling, you can see that he is taking this serious as a leader and as a wrestler.
30.
You oftentimes see a very big jump from the freshman to the sophomore year. And we're seeing that right now in Jackson Arrington. Just his level of attack, his level of confidence, and getting better on the mat. Now, he's from Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania is known for their mat wrestling, but it's just different in college.
Arrington won 3 Pennsylvania State Championships. 3-0 lead through the first period. Rock, let's go big picture a little bit and talk these 2 programs, these 2 coaches, and Rob Cole and the plan that he has. He talked about a 3-year plan. He has fast-forwarded that. He's saying 1 year. How does he get it done in Chapel Hill?
He's getting it done because of the alumni support and the pressure that he has from his AD. His AD wants to win immediately. He wants to win quickly. And while, you know, he's only been there 3 months for real, he likes the pressure. He likes the fact that his AD is saying, why are we winning now? How come we didn't score more points here? Rob Cole has a plan. He has the alumni support, and he has the financial backing of the alumni. And with the NIL, the portal, it's not going to take long. Before, it would take some years. You got to find the right people. But all you have to do is find a couple people in the portal. You have some money for NIL, and then you're right there. The portal has really changed the game.
Center, gentlemen.
And that's why when we talked to Coach Land, longtime coach of UNC, said it's not going to be a 3-year turnaround. They believe that they're going to compete next year. And when I say compete, and I asked the coach, I said, what do you mean by compete? He says for the ACC title. He said, if you can win the ACC title, you're a top 5 team in the country.
You look at this state, and what Papalizio has been able to do with NC State is he has taken these wrestling fans, all these high school programs around the area, and let's not forget, North Carolina has all these Division I wrestling programs. This is a rich state for the sport, and they become Wolfpack fans because of the success that Papalizio has brought to Raleigh. What brings a fan base? Good wrestling and winning wrestling, and that's been what the red and black have enjoyed here at Reynolds Coliseum. He has built an atmosphere around this sport, around this team, and the identity that he has branded with NC State wrestling.
And it's a good blueprint. It's a good blueprint.
Get out of those hands. Break grip.
But you have to have a good product. Meaning that you can have all the marketing, all the bells and whistles, the fireworks, the fire. If you don't have guys that are wrestling hard and competing hard, no one's going to want to watch.
Time.
I thought it was interesting. Cole told us winning will bring fans, but building a fan base oftentimes is more difficult than winning.
And fans want to follow a team that's performing.
Long list of accolades when you look at Rob Cole and what he has meant to this sport. Coached a Hodge Trophy winner, the 16 NCAA individual champions. Had that great run with Cornell. A couple of years in Stanford. He had really good back-to-back recruiting years. Try to bring his skill set now to Chapel Hill. Tough situation. Arrington continues to ride. Old Jackson Arrington in control, up 4-0. Jaden Scott just can't get anything started. Over 2 minutes of riding time.
While this may not be a dominant win in terms of points, these are the wins and learning how to win in a grinding match. This is what you need to learn how to do if you want to be able to score points at nationals. Not just scoring 15 points all the time, but every once in a while you just have to just suck it up and learn how to just win a match on the mat. And Arrington is doing a good job of keeping down a young wrestler in Jaden Scott.
And how many wrestlers have we talked to already this year? It's only the start of February, but this type of ride that we're seeing with the rules is a little bit more difficult to pull off.
Yes. Looking for an arm bar tilt here. He's got an arm bar holding the wrist. And then the top man stalling. You just brought it up. If you're not trying to work for a near fall, and a near fall is when you're trying to aggressively work to pin, then the referee is going to say top man is stalling, and as a result, Jackson Arrington says, let's go to the feet. Riding time is secured, so he's essentially 6-1. A takedown will be another bonus point win for the Wolfpack.
Watch hands.
It's an NC State team that had to wait a while this year to wrestle at Reynolds. Had a tough start with Oklahoma State to kick off the new year. You were here for that. They bounced back last week in a big way on the road at Pitt, now getting the job done here against UNC.
Very important that Arrington wants to get this takedown and get the make decision and end it on a high note. Scott's doing a good job, and he gets the major decision. He gets the major decision and pushes the head down.
Statement set, exclamation point. NC State, who relied on the bonus points all night, Arrington closes it with another bonus point victory. And this rivalry, long-standing, nearly a century old, is only going to get more and more heated as we go deeper and deeper with the success these programs are going to have.
11 straight, and NC State is showing their dominance, but keep watching, fans. UNC is going to get better, and they will get better a lot quicker than you anticipate.
The Wolfpack showing no signs of slowing down. They prevail. They run to 2-0 in ACC action. Final score, North Carolina State 33, UNC 6. Coming up next, ACC Network College Football Primetime. It's North Carolina, NC State. The rivalry on the gridiron. What a night from Reynolds. The Wolfpack celebrate. That's the story. For Rock Harrison, our fantastic crew, this is Sean Kinney saying so long, good night from Raleigh.